Princess Diana, she was the Princess of Wales, died 25 years ago today in a car accident in Paris, as mourners have marked the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's death in Paris by laying flowers and leaving messages on the bridge above the underpass where she was killed in a car crash. And you can see the flowers left there as a tribute to her. She is the mother of Prince William and Prince Harry. She was the princess, was just 36 years old when the limousine that was carrying her and Dodi Al Fayed crashed in the tunnel below the bridge where you can see the pictures. And that sped away from photographers who were chasing her vehicle on motorbikes. Now, millions globally mourned the People's Princess, as she was known. And at the time, British Prime Minister Tony Blair described Diana in 1997 as the People's Princess, and that's always stuck. She was the world's most recognized and most photographed woman. She was very high profile, and she was a supporter of humanitarian causes, including children's charities, landmines, and so much more. In her death, well, the monarchy plunged into a crisis. And this was after her disintegration, her divorce from Prince Charles, after it was revealed the feuding they had in their marriage, the adultery, and the misery that she felt in her role as a royal, and all the stories that came out about Camilla Parker Bowles, who's now the Duchess and married to Prince Charles. Throughout her life, Diana had devoted herself to serving other people. At her time, while she was the president or patron of over 100 charities as a part of her royal duties, and she worked with so many. So we want to talk about what she was known for. There was some historic moments that changed the public perception, and she led the campaign and the charge on that. She was passionate about fighting the ban on landmines. And just a few months before her death in a car crash, Princess Diana traveled to Angola, where she made sure there was a picture of her, and that's the picture where she's stepping out on active minefields. And this is scary because she's doing it, and she was making sure that there's awareness raised. And this is what sticks into people's minds and hearts about her advocacy, about banning landmines, and the more iconic image of her, sitting alongside a young girl with an amputated leg who had suffered from the landmines as she came to visit them. So this visit was a bold image that became a turning point for the world to put a spotlight on Angola and the landmines. And then another historic thing is her campaign against the perception that people had on HIV and AIDS, the awareness campaign that she definitely led. It woke up the world into what the horrors of HIV and AIDS are in the early 80s. And there you have her picture of sitting in a bed with patients who were shunned because they were stigmatized for the disease of having HIV or AIDS as a sexual connotation. And what Diana did there is that you can see her pictures of her shaking hands with patients, and showing that while she's visiting the AIDS patients at the hospital in London, she's showing that she's shaking hands without wearing a glove, sending a clear message to the world that the disease could not be transmitted by touch. And this is what this single act and these photographs were what largely led to changing people's perception towards HIV/AIDS. And then you have the one where she helped a young and homeless a girl, where Princess Diana became a patron of Center Points. You have her pictures with, her making sure that she's reaching out to the most vulnerable in society, and the need for making sure that there's shelter and availability for people who suffer from homelessness. This is something that her children, Prince William and Prince Harry also, who she took along to a lot of these charities for them to witness at a very young age, have taken on as adults. She was also an advocate for awareness on leprosy, just like her visit to the landmines in Angola, just like her visit to a hospital with patients who suffered from AIDS and HIV. She also visited a leprosy hospital in Indonesia, where it was, and this was so controversial at the time, but what she did was she allowed the messaging where she sat with people who, in their beds, who suffered from leprosy, And again, she was shaking their hands and touching their wounds and putting the spotlight on leprosy awareness across the world. And this, for this reason, she was also the patron of Leprosy Mission England and Wales in 1990 until her death in 1997. She has led a tremendous legacy, and we remember her on the 25th anniversary of her death. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family, as well as anybody who she's touched the lives of. That's all the time we have for the Today Show. I'm Ramona Singh. Until next time, take care and be well.